I decided to respond very quickly to Foluke's charge that Nigeria would not be able to overcome corruption even in the next 4 years. That's only if we make the mistake of voting for the same set of people. If you bring us, those of us who have been busting corruption for the last 12 years non-stop, if we come to power, we'll Betides all the corrupt guys in this country. I've been advising them to spend time looking at the prisons around their states and fix them. That's because they might have to spend some time there when we take over power. After so many years of flourishing in corruption, they can even decide to turn a new leaf and come and confess their sins. Like a former PDP chieftain, Ibrahim Madu, did a few weeks ago, or maybe last week. He came out and said they have been rigging elections forever. He came and nullified all the elections that have been held in the last 20 years, particularly the last 16 years under the People's Democratic Party. And he made it clear the way they rig elections. They bribe INEC officials, they bribe police, they bribe judges. And that is how our democracy has been in the last 20 years. That is not democracy, that is morontocracy. It's a democracy only for morons. And we must change that. Yes. And we cannot change that with the mindset that is in power today. What you are seeing with corruption or the fight against corruption under the current regime is the deodorization of corrupt persons as long as they move over to the ruling party. For example, you've seen that they released a number of names recently of people they said were responsible for corruption. And one very important personality that I have worked on this island, Musikile Obanikoro, his name was conspicuously absent from their list of corrupt people. Obanikoro took $5 billion on an aeroplane from Lagos to Ekiti State to rig Fayose into power. And it was as a result of that we had what is known in Nigeria as Ekiti Gate, because of the breadth of that corruption that took place, the brazenness of it. But his name was not mentioned as part of the people who had ruined our economy under the last regime. That is not fighting corruption. Even Ojus Okalu, who is undergoing trial for corruption, but because he's now a member of the APC, his name was not mentioned. That is not how to fight corruption. That's not how to bust corruption. But I guarantee you that as soon as we come to power, the real corrupt people who stole billions, over $500 billion in this country, will be exposed for as far back as possible. And they will be made to cough out every dime they have stolen from Nigeria so that Nigeria can progress. I have here the Consular General of the US, and I want to say to him with due respect that the US has the most corrupt street in the world. It's called Wall Street. But there are policemen who are always busting them, and you find out that even though they are corrupt, and they still continue to be corrupt, by the way, there are consequences for it. You can see a rich man today, and the next day you find him in handcuffs, and you find him in jail. That is the kind of country we should have. Not a country where the moment you belong to the ruling party, you become deodorized. And when you are not, you become criminalized. That is what has to end. That is why the young people of this country must compulsorily take the power, take Nigeria back and chase those people who are corrupt from our body policy, because they become a virus. And that virus must be expunged, exterminated with the deodorant that we are bringing into this campaign. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations to everybody. And